Ravi woke up to the sound of soft breathing near his ear. At first, he thought it was the wind outside his window, sneaking in through the cracks of the wooden frame. The morning sun had not yet climbed fully into the sky, and his small room was still half dark. His bed felt heavy, as if something was pressing on it. He rubbed his eyes and turned his head slowly. What he saw made him freeze. Curled up beside him, resting against his arm, was a small figure. At first, he thought it was a child, but then his eyes adjusted to the dim light. Silver fur shimmered faintly, covering her small body. Two pointed ears twitched lightly, catching every sound. Her face was gentle, with big golden eyes half closed in sleep. She looked like a tiny girl and a little wolf at the same time. Ravi held his breath. His heart raced. He blinked again and again, hoping the image would vanish like a dream. But the strange little being was real. He could hear her breathing. He could feel her warmth against his arm. For a long moment, Ravi lay stiff, not knowing what to do. His first thought was that someone was playing a trick on him. But no mask, no costume, no toy could look this real. Her claws, though small, were sharp enough to leave scratches on his old blanket. Her tail flicked softly as she stirred in her sleep. The tiny wolf girl opened her eyes. They glowed softly, not with light but with a deep natural shine. She looked at him without fear. Instead, she whispered a single word in broken human speech. Protector. Ravi's mouth went dry. He sat up quickly, almost falling off the bed. The little girl followed his movement, clutching his arm with surprising strength. She did not let go, no matter how much he shifted. Who are you? Ravi asked, his voice shaking. What are you? The little wolf girl tilted her head, as if trying to understand. Her voice was soft and strange, but the word came again. Protector. Ravi's thoughts spun. His home was small, nothing more than a one-room house on the edge of the village. He had lived alone for many years, working odd jobs and helping farmers. He had no family nearby, no visitors, no friends who could sneak in with such a creature. The only possible answer frightened him. She was not from this world. The girl clung tighter. Her small claws pricked his arm, but not in a harmful way. It was more like a desperate grip, as if she feared being left alone. Her golden eyes did not blink. She trusted him fully, though they had just met. Ravi's chest tightened with confusion and a strange kind of pity. She looked too young, too fragile, to be left wandering in the world alone. But at the same time, she was clearly not human. What danger had brought her here? Where did you come from? He asked softly, trying not to scare her. The girl raised a trembling hand and pointed toward the window. Beyond the glass, the sky looked normal, but Ravi remembered his dream from the night before. He had dreamed of a glowing forest, strange lights dancing in the air, and a crack in the sky. He had thought it was only his imagination. Now he wondered if it had been a vision. The little wolf girl seemed to understand his doubt. She touched her chest and whispered a name. Luna. The sound was clear enough. That was her name. Ravi repeated it slowly. Luna. Her ears twitched happily, and she nodded with a small smile. Then she pointed at him. Protector. Ravi almost laughed, though his nerves still trembled. My name is Ravi. Not Protector. But Luna shook her head firmly. She would not call him anything else. To her, he was Protector, nothing more and nothing less. He sighed and leaned back against the wall. He still had no idea what to do. If he told the villagers, they would panic. Some might think she was dangerous, others might try to capture her. And yet, he could not simply throw her out. She was too small to survive alone. Ravi looked at her again. Her fur shimmered in the dim light, and her eyes held a strange mix of fear and hope. She pressed closer to him, curling against his side as if she had finally found a safe place. He whispered to himself, "What am I supposed to do now?" Luna's ears flicked at his voice, but she said nothing. She closed her eyes and let out a soft sigh, as if she trusted that he would protect her no matter what. Ravi stayed awake long after that. His mind filled with questions. Why had she come here? What did she mean by calling him protector? What danger followed her? He did not know the answers. All he knew was that his life had changed the moment he opened his eyes that morning. When the first rays of the sun touched the window, Ravi looked at Luna again. She was still asleep, her small form curled up like a child. She looked peaceful, but he knew peace would not last. Whatever world she came from, whatever danger chased her, it would not leave her alone. Ravi let out a long breath. He did not ask for this, but somehow he felt he had no choice. The girl had chosen him. Whether he understood or not, he was now her protector. The morning sun rose higher, shining through the cracks of Ravi's small window. He sat on the edge of his bed, still half lost in thought. The tiny alien wolf girl, Luna, had woken up and was watching him with curious golden eyes. She did not speak much, but she stayed close, her small hand gripping his sleeve as if she feared he might leave. Ravi was not sure how to handle this new reality. His home had always been quiet, filled only with the sound of wind, birds, and the creaking of wood. Now, in that same space, sat a creature from another world. She was not only strange but also fragile. She trusted him completely, though he had done nothing to earn it yet. He stood slowly and tried to step away. Luna followed him at once, her bare feet pattering softly on the floor. Her ears twitched at every sound, her tail swayed behind her, and her gaze never left him. Ravi frowned. "You cannot follow me everywhere," he said firmly. Luna tilted her head, not understanding every word, but she caught the tone. She pressed closer, shaking her head. Her single word came again. "Protector." Ravi sighed. He could argue all day, but she would not change her mind. To her, the word was more than a name. It was a bond. He walked toward the small table where he kept simple food, some rice, bread, and dried fruit. He took a piece of bread and broke it in half. When he offered it, Luna sniffed carefully before biting gently. Her small fangs tore the bread with ease, and her tail wagged as she ate. For the first time, Ravi smiled. She looked so happy over something so simple. Her joy reminded him of a child discovering the world for the first time. As they ate, Ravi tried asking questions again. "Where are you from? How did you come here?" Luna chewed slowly and pointed to the sky. Her eyes grew sad, and her ears folded back. She spoke in broken words, trying her best to explain. "Sky broke. Light came. Machines hunt. I run. Ripped open. I fall." Ravi listened carefully. Though her words were simple, the meaning was clear enough. She had escaped from her world through some kind of rift, a tear in the sky, and machines had been chasing her. She had not chosen to come to Earth. She had been forced. He leaned back, his thoughts heavy. So that dream was not just a dream, he murmured to himself. He remembered the glowing forest and the crack in the sky he had seen while sleeping. Somehow, it must have been connected to Luna's arrival. Luna reached out and touched his arm, as if sensing his unease. Her golden eyes shone with trust. She whispered again. "Protector safe. Luna safe." Ravi swallowed hard. A strange warmth filled his chest. He was not used to being needed. His life until now had been simple: working, eating, and sleeping. He had no one who relied on him. Yet here was a being from another world who clung to him as if he were her last hope. As the day passed, Luna explored the small house. She sniffed at the wooden shelves, touched the tools, and stared at the window with wide eyes. Ravi watched carefully, ready to stop her if she broke anything. But she moved with surprising gentleness, her claws never scratching the wood. She treated everything with respect, as if even ordinary things were treasures. At one point, she discovered his old metal pot. She tapped it with her claws, then laughed softly at the ringing sound it made. Ravi could not help but laugh with her. The sound of her laughter filled the room like sunlight. By evening, Ravi realized something unusual. Whenever Luna touched him, his body felt different. Stronger. Warmer. When she sat beside him, the small aches in his muscles faded. When she held his hand, his tiredness seemed to vanish. He frowned at this strange discovery. "What are you doing to me?" he asked. Luna tilted her head again, trying to find the words. She pressed her small hand against his chest. "Bond," she said softly. "Luna, give energy. Protector strong." Ravi's eyes widened. "Energy? You mean, you are sharing your power with me?" Luna nodded. She seemed calm, as if this was natural. But to Ravi, it was unbelievable. A creature from another world was giving him strength simply by staying near. He tested it that night. Normally, lifting a heavy bucket of water from the well strained his arms. But with Luna holding his sleeve, it felt lighter. His grip was firmer, his steps steadier. It was as if her presence turned weakness into strength. When they returned inside, Ravi sat down heavily. He could not deny it any longer. This bond was real. Luna climbed onto the chair beside him, curling her tail around herself. She looked tired but content. Her eyes closed halfway as she leaned against him. "You cannot just stay with me forever," Ravi whispered. "My life is small. I am not a hero. I am not even strong without you. If your enemies come here, I cannot fight them alone." Luna's eyes opened again, sharp and certain. She placed her hand firmly on his arm and spoke clearly, without hesitation. "Protector, fight. Luna, help. Together strong." Ravi stared at her, stunned by her certainty. She was small, younger than any fighter he had ever seen, yet her courage was unshaken. To her, their bond was not a question. It was a truth. The fire in her words stirred something deep in Ravi. Perhaps he had been living too long in the shadows, hiding from responsibility. Perhaps life had been waiting for this moment, for this bond. He nodded slowly. "All right. If you believe it, then I will not turn away. I will protect you, Luna. As long as I can." A bright smile spread across her face. Her ears perked up, and her tail wagged happily. She pressed her forehead gently against his arm, a gesture that felt almost sacred. That night, as Ravi lay on his bed, Luna curled beside him once again. But this time, he did not push her away. He allowed her warmth to stay close. He knew danger was coming. He knew his life would never be the same. But he also knew he had been chosen, whether he wanted it or not. The bond between human and alien had been formed. And with it came a promise of strength, hope, and a new path neither of them could yet see. The next morning began like any other, but Ravi felt different. He opened his eyes to the sound of birds outside and the warmth of sunlight on his face. Luna was already awake, sitting cross-legged on the wooden floor. She stared at a small stone in her hands. The stone glowed faintly with a soft blue light. Ravi rubbed his eyes and sat up. "What is that?" Luna looked up, her ears twitching. She held the stone carefully. "Energy. From Bond." The stone pulsed once before the glow faded. Luna frowned and tucked it into her small pouch. Ravi could not understand how a simple stone could shine, but he had already seen enough to know Luna's world was filled with things beyond his knowledge. He stood and stretched. His body felt lighter than usual, stronger too. The aches from the day before were gone. Even his breathing was easier. He had lived many years working under the sun, and his body was used to pain, but now he felt renewed, almost young again. As he stepped outside to fetch water, he noticed something else. His old wooden bucket, cracked from use, looked different. The split in the wood was sealed, as if it had been repaired overnight. Ravi bent down, touching it carefully. The wood was solid, smooth, and strong. He was certain it had been broken just yesterday. He carried the bucket to the well. To his surprise, the rope that had always been frayed and weak was now firm and new. When he pulled up the heavy load of water, it felt light, as if someone else was helping him. Ravi frowned deeply. This is not normal. When he returned to the house, Luna was waiting at the door. Her golden eyes followed him, sharp and knowing. "You feel change," she said. "Yes," Ravi answered. He set the bucket down and sat heavily on the stool. "My body is stronger. Old things are repairing themselves. This is your doing, isn't it?" Luna nodded. Her small tail swished slowly. "Bond share power. Protector grows strong. World around protector heal." Ravi stared at her, amazed. "So you are saying that because of this bond, even broken things can mend?" She nodded again. Her words came slowly, but her meaning was clear. Protector spirit mix with Luna energy. Balance return. Machines break. Life heal. Her explanation left Ravi with more questions than answers. Still, he could not deny what he had seen. His old tools had been repaired, his strength had grown, and even his mood felt lighter. But his wonder soon turned into worry. If he was changing, then others might notice. And if the bond could repair broken objects, it might also draw attention from forces beyond his understanding. Later that day, Ravi tried to work outside. He carried logs for the villagers, a task that normally left him sweating and tired. To his surprise, he lifted them with ease. The other men stared at him, whispering among themselves. "Has Ravi been hiding his strength all these years?" one asked. "He looks different," another muttered. "Look at the way he moves." Ravi forced a smile and shrugged. "Just feeling healthy today." But inside, his heart pounded. He knew the villagers were not fools. If he continued showing such unnatural strength, questions would follow. Questions he could not answer without revealing Luna. That evening, as the sun set, Ravi returned home. Luna waited for him, ears twitching nervously. She could sense his unease before he spoke a word. "They noticed," Ravi said quietly. "The others saw my strength. If they grow suspicious, they may come looking." Luna lowered her ears. She stepped closer and held his hand tightly. "Protector no alone. Luna stay." Her words calmed him slightly. Yet Ravi could not ignore the truth. Something greater was happening, something that reached beyond his small village. The night grew quiet. Crickets sang outside, and the fire in the hearth burned low. Ravi tried to rest, but his thoughts raced. He remembered the dream he had seen before Luna arrived: the glowing forest, the strange light, and the crack in the sky. It was not just a dream. It was a warning. Suddenly, a faint buzzing sound filled the air. Luna's ears perked, and she rose quickly to her feet. Ravi sat up at once. The sound came from outside, sharp and metallic, unlike anything natural. Luna ran to the window and peered out. Her golden eyes narrowed. "Machines," she whispered. Ravi's chest tightened. "They found you." Luna nodded grimly. Her tail stood stiff, and her claws flexed. She turned to him with urgency. "Protector ready. Bond strong. We fight." Before Ravi could answer, a small drone floated into view outside the window. Its metal body gleamed in the moonlight, and its red eye glowed as it scanned the area. Another followed behind, and then another. Ravi's breath caught. He had never seen such things in his life. The drones hummed like angry insects, their movements precise and unnatural. Luna placed herself in front of him, her small body tense and alert. Machines hunt Luna. But Bond give power. Protector fight with Luna. Ravi clenched his fists. Fear filled him, but so did something else, a strange energy that flowed through his veins, warm and steady. He realized it was the Bond. Luna was sharing her strength with him even now. The first drone moved closer, its red eye glowing brighter. A sharp metallic arm extended from its side, sparking faintly. Ravi's instinct screamed at him to run, but Luna stood firm. He could not abandon her. Not after she had chosen him. "Stay behind me," Ravi said, though he knew she would not listen. Luna shook her head. Together. The drone lunged forward, but Ravi reacted faster than he thought possible. His hand shot out, grabbing a wooden pole from the corner of the room. With a sudden burst of strength, he swung it hard. The pole struck the drone with a loud crack, and the machine crashed to the ground, sparking wildly. Ravi stared at the broken drone in shock. He had never moved so quickly, never struck so hard. The Bond was real. The other drones buzzed louder, preparing to strike. Luna leaped beside him, her claws glowing faintly with the same strange energy he had felt. In that moment, Ravi understood. He was no longer just an ordinary man. The Bond had changed him. And with Luna at his side, he would have to fight. The night air was filled with the sharp buzz of machines. The broken drone on the floor still sparked faintly, its red eye fading as smoke rose from its metal shell. Ravi stood with the wooden pole in his hands, his breath heavy but steady. He could hardly believe what he had done. One strike had been enough to break the strange machine. But there was no time to celebrate. More drones hovered outside, their glowing eyes sweeping across the dark ground. Their movements were cold and precise, unlike any living creature. The hum of their engines sent chills down Ravi's spine. Luna crouched beside him, her silver fur glowing faintly in the moonlight. Her golden eyes shone with determination. "More come." "We go," she said firmly. Ravi looked around the small house. It had always been his safe place, but now it felt like a trap. The walls were thin, the door weak. The machines would break through easily. He knew Luna was right. "Where?" he asked quickly. "Forest," she answered without hesitation. Her ears twitched, catching every sound outside. "Machines blind in trees. We hide. We fight." Ravi nodded. He grabbed a small bag and stuffed it with bread and dried fruit. His hands moved quickly, though his mind raced with questions. Why had these machines crossed into his world? How far would they go to find Luna? He pushed the thoughts aside. Survival came first. Luna held his sleeve tightly as they slipped out the back door. The cool night air hit their faces, carrying the smell of pine and damp earth. Shadows stretched long across the ground, and the forest loomed nearby, dark and deep. They ran toward the trees, their footsteps quiet but urgent. Behind them, the drones noticed the movement. A sharp whistle filled the air as red beams scanned the ground. The hunt had begun. Ravi's heart pounded as they reached the forest's edge. Branches scraped his arms as they pushed through, but he did not slow down. Luna moved quickly, darting between trees with the grace of a wild animal. She pulled him forward, guiding him deeper into the woods. The drones followed, their buzzing louder now. Red lights flashed between the trees as they searched. Ravi ducked behind a trunk, pulling Luna close. His chest rose and fell rapidly. "They are too fast," he whispered. Luna shook her head. Her eyes glimmered. "Bond strong. We make trap." Ravi frowned. "Trap? With what?" She crouched, touching the earth with her small hand. The ground glowed faintly beneath her fingers, lines of light spreading like roots. Ravi watched in awe as the glow faded into the soil. Luna's breathing grew heavy, but she smiled faintly. "Machines blind to bond," she said. "Protector fight. Luna guide." Ravi tightened his grip on the wooden pole. His hands no longer shook. The warmth of the bond flowed through him again, steadying his fear. He felt ready. The first drone entered the clearing, its red eye sweeping across the shadows. Ravi waited, hidden behind a thick tree trunk. The machine floated closer, its sharp metal arms twitching. Then Ravi moved. With a burst of speed, he stepped forward and swung the pole with all his strength. The wood cracked against the drone's body, sending it crashing to the ground. Sparks flew as it twitched and went still. Another drone appeared at once, buzzing louder. This one shot a beam of red light toward him, searing across the bark of a tree. Ravi ducked quickly, rolling to the side. His heart raced, but the bond gave him strength to move faster than before. "Protector left," Luna shouted. Ravi turned just in time. The drone darted toward him, but he swung upward. The pole struck hard, and the machine smashed into the ground. Ravi stood over it, breathing hard but alive. Luna's eyes shone with pride. "Protector strong." But more buzzing filled the air. Ravi looked up and saw several drones weaving through the trees. Their glowing eyes burned like red stars in the darkness. "They will not stop," Ravi muttered. Luna stepped forward. Her claws glowed faintly with blue energy. She raised her small hands, and a shimmer passed through the trees. For a moment, the drones faltered, their movements jerky and unsteady. "Now," she urged. Ravi charged forward. His pole struck one drone, then another. Sparks lit the forest floor as broken metal scattered. But the machines kept coming, tireless and relentless. At last, silence returned. The clearing was littered with broken drones, their eyes dim, their wings still. Ravi leaned against a tree, sweat dripping from his brow. His arms ached, but he was alive. Luna stood beside him, her breathing heavy. She looked up at him with tired but bright eyes. "Together win." Ravi managed a weak smile. "Yes. But this is only the beginning." They moved deeper into the forest, careful to stay hidden. The night was quiet again, but Ravi's mind was restless. The machines had crossed worlds to hunt Luna. That meant more would come. Stronger ones. As they walked, Luna spoke softly. "Machines no stop. They follow bond. Protector and Luna must grow. Must fight. Must protect." Ravi listened in silence. The weight of her words settled heavily on him. He had never asked for this. He had been an ordinary man, living an ordinary life. But now, fate had given him a bond with a creature from another world. When they finally stopped to rest, Ravi sat on a fallen log. Luna curled beside him, her small body trembling from exhaustion. He placed a hand gently on her shoulder. "You are safe now," he whispered. "As long as I live, I will not let them take you." Luna's eyes closed, and she smiled faintly. "Protector true." The forest grew still around them. The stars shone above, cold and distant. Somewhere beyond the sky, more machines were waiting. Ravi knew the pursuit was far from over. But he also knew one thing with certainty. He was no longer alone. The forest became their shelter. For days, Ravi and Luna stayed hidden beneath the thick canopy of trees. They built a small camp near a stream where the water ran clear and cool. Ravi gathered branches and stones, shaping a fire pit, while Luna helped by carrying smaller sticks. Her movements were quick and careful, her ears always listening for danger. Though the machines no longer buzzed nearby, Ravi knew it was only a matter of time before more came. He worked hard to prepare, sharpening wooden poles and setting simple traps around their camp. Each night, he and Luna slept close to the fire, watching the stars through the gaps in the branches. At first, Ravi thought the forest would feel lonely. Instead, he discovered something new. With Luna always beside him, the silence of the woods no longer weighed heavy on his heart. Her soft voice, her laughter when she learned something new, even her stubborn refusal to leave his side made the forest feel alive. One morning, Ravi showed her how to cook properly over the fire. He placed a fish he had caught on a flat stone, letting it roast slowly. The smell filled the air, and Luna's golden eyes widened. She wagged her tail, clearly excited. "Food good," she said, smiling. Ravi chuckled. "Better than eating raw, trust me." She nodded quickly and tore into the roasted fish once it cooled. She hummed happily as she ate, as if each bite was a treasure. Watching her simple joy made Ravi smile more than he had in years. In return, Luna began teaching him about the bond. She showed him how to close his eyes, focus on the warmth that flowed between them, and draw strength from it. At first, Ravi struggled, but slowly he began to feel the power moving like a river through his body. His arms grew steadier, his reflexes sharper. One evening, as they trained, Luna placed her small clawed hand on his chest. "Protect her heart strong," she said softly. "Bond grow." Luna and Protector one family. The word family struck Ravi deeply. It had been a long time since he had felt that closeness with anyone. His parents were gone, and he had no brothers or sisters. For years he had lived alone, speaking only to villagers when necessary. Now, for the first time, someone saw him not as a stranger, but as family. He placed his hand gently on her shoulder. "Yes. Family." The days passed, and their bond deepened. Ravi noticed how Luna slowly adjusted to his world. She learned to use his tools, though she often held them the wrong way at first. She practiced human words each night, her voice soft but determined. Sometimes she mixed words from her own language, but Ravi understood her meaning through her eyes. One afternoon, they encountered a deer while walking by the stream. The animal froze, its ears twitching. Ravi raised his hand to signal silence. To his surprise, Luna stepped forward slowly, crouching low. Instead of chasing it, she made a soft sound, almost like a song. The deer's ears relaxed, and after a moment, it lowered its head and drank from the stream. Ravi whispered in awe, "How did you do that?" Luna smiled faintly. "Bond not only with Protector. Bond with life. Animals feel peace." Her gift amazed him. She was not just a warrior or survivor. She carried a spirit that connected with the world itself. That night, Ravi sat by the fire, watching her sleep. Her small form curled against his side, tail wrapped around her legs. She looked peaceful, yet he knew danger was never far. Still, for the first time in his life, Ravi felt he had a purpose greater than himself. He was no longer just a man living day to day. He was Protector, chosen by the bond, chosen by Luna. One evening, as the stars shone bright, Luna asked a question that surprised him. "Protector, why alone before Luna come?" Ravi hesitated. "Life was simple. I worked. I ate. I slept. That was all. I had no one to share it with. No family." Luna tilted her head, her golden eyes sad. "Protector heart lonely." He nodded slowly. "Yes. Lonely." She moved closer and pressed her forehead against his arm, the same way she had done before. "No lonely now. Family." The warmth of her words eased the weight in his chest. He smiled gently. "No, not lonely now." Their days became a rhythm. Ravi hunted and gathered, while Luna watched the skies, always alert for danger. At times, they trained together. Ravi practiced swinging his staff, faster and stronger each day, while Luna guided him with sharp eyes and patient words. She showed him how to move quietly through the trees, how to strike with precision rather than brute force. One night, as the fire flickered low, Ravi asked, "Why did you choose me? Out of all the people in this world, why me?" Luna looked at him seriously. Protector spirit strong. Not afraid to care. Machines fear that most. Her answer stayed with him long after she closed her eyes. Strength was not only about muscles or speed. It was about the will to care for another, even when danger followed. That was the spirit she had seen in him. As the days turned into weeks, Ravi began to notice changes in himself. His senses sharpened. He could hear the rustle of leaves from far away, feel the shift of air before a bird took flight. His body no longer tired as quickly, and his wounds healed faster than before. The bond was shaping him into something more than human. But the greatest change was not in his body. It was in his heart. He no longer felt the weight of loneliness. He no longer drifted without purpose. With Luna at his side, he felt stronger, fuller, as if he had finally found the missing part of his life. The forest, once only a place of survival, now felt like home. The firelight, the sound of the stream, and Luna's soft voice filled his days with meaning. Yet Ravi knew peace would not last forever. The machines were still out there, searching. The rift in the sky had not closed. One day soon, the silence of the forest would break again. Still, as Luna rested against him that night, her steady breathing warm and calm, Ravi allowed himself a rare moment of peace. For now, they were safe. For now, they were a family. And that bond gave him strength to face whatever lay ahead. The forest had been calm for many days. Ravi and Luna trained together, hunted together, and shared quiet evenings by the fire. Ravi's body grew stronger each passing day, and Luna's bond with him deepened. The simple camp they built almost felt like a new home. But peace rarely lasts when danger waits beyond the sky. It began one morning when the ground shook faintly. Ravi was carrying water from the stream when he felt the earth tremble beneath his feet. At first, he thought it was only a small quake. Then the birds burst from the trees, flying in panic. The air filled with their cries, and the forest grew eerily still. Luna's ears twitched sharply. She dropped the stick she had been carving and looked to the sky. Her golden eyes narrowed. "Machines come," she whispered. Ravi followed her gaze. At first, he saw only clouds drifting across the blue sky. Then he spotted an opening high above, a tear that glowed faintly like a scar in the heavens. The same rift Luna had spoken of. From it, dark shapes began to fall. Not one, not two, but many. Metal bodies with sharp wings glimmered in the sunlight as they descended. Their red eyes flickered like fire. They were larger than the drones Ravi had fought before. Some were the size of men, walking on spindly legs. Others flew with heavy wings that beat the air like drums. Ravi's chest tightened. This was not a hunt. This was an invasion. "Come," Luna urged, grabbing his arm. "We warn people." They ran together through the forest, their steps quick and sure. Ravi's mind raced. The villagers had never seen such machines. They would not know how to fight them. If no warning was given, the village would fall before anyone could defend it. By the time they reached the edge of the forest, smoke already curled into the sky. Ravi's village was under attack. Metal creatures stormed the fields, tearing through crops and burning wooden fences. Villagers ran in every direction, shouting in fear. Some tried to fight with sticks and tools, but the machines struck them down with ease. Ravi's stomach turned at the sight. He had lived among these people, shared meals with them, worked beside them in the fields. Now they faced destruction from a danger they could not even understand. He turned to Luna. "We cannot run this time. We must fight." Luna nodded, her fur bristling. "Yes. Protector and Luna fight together." They rushed into the village. Ravi grabbed a heavy farming tool, swinging it at the nearest machine. The strike landed with a loud crack, sending sparks into the air. The machine toppled, its legs twitching. Ravi moved on to the next, his strength fueled by the bond. Luna leapt beside him, her claws glowing faintly with blue light. She darted through the chaos, slashing at weak points in the machine's armor. Each strike she made seemed to confuse them, as if her energy disrupted their systems. At first, the villagers only stared. They saw Ravi fighting with unnatural strength, his movements faster and sharper than ever before. They saw the strange wolf-like girl glowing with alien energy. Some gasped, others whispered in fear. But when Ravi shouted, his voice cut through the panic. "Do not run. Help me. Together we can fight them." His words stirred something in them. A few men and women picked up tools and joined the battle. They swung axes, hammers, and shovels, striking at the machines while Ravi and Luna guided them. For the first time, the villagers pushed back instead of fleeing. Still, the machines were relentless. Larger ones stomped into the village, smashing huts with their heavy legs. A flying machine swooped low, firing beams that set roofs ablaze. Smoke filled the air, and screams echoed from every corner. Ravi's muscles burned, but he did not stop. Each time he thought he would fall, the warmth of the bond surged through him. Luna's voice rang in his ears, steady and strong. "Protector, left. Strike now. Do not fear." He obeyed, striking with precision. The machine fell, its red eye dimming. At last, the villagers saw hope. They fought harder, emboldened by Ravi's strength and Luna's courage. Together, they brought down more machines, filling the streets with broken metal. When the largest machine entered, silence fell. It towered over the huts, its body thick with armor, its red eyes burning brighter than the rest. Each step shook the ground, and its arms ended in spinning blades. Fear rippled through the villagers. Some began to back away. Ravi felt the weight of their fear pressing on him. If he failed now, all would be lost. He tightened his grip on his weapon and stepped forward. Luna stood at his side, her small form glowing brighter than ever. She looked up at him and whispered, "Protector, trust Bond. Trust Luna." Ravi nodded. They charged together. The great machine swung one of its arms, the blades whirring dangerously. Ravi dodged, the movement faster than he thought possible. He struck at its leg, but the blow barely dented the armor. Luna leapt high, her claws glowing with energy. She slashed at the machine's eye, sending sparks flying. The creature staggered, turning its fury toward her. "Now, Protector," she cried. Ravi roared and swung with all his strength, striking the weakened spot. The machine shuddered, sparks bursting from its body, then collapsed with a deafening crash. The ground trembled as silence followed. The villagers stared in awe. The great machine lay broken, its red eyes gone dark. Slowly, cheers rose. The villagers shouted Ravi's name, raising their tools in victory. But many of them also looked at Luna, their eyes filled with questions. One elder stepped forward, his voice trembling. "What is this creature? And how does she fight with you?" Ravi glanced at Luna. She stood proudly beside him, her golden eyes calm but firm. He took a deep breath and spoke clearly. "She is Luna. She is not from our world. The machines hunt her. And now they hunt us as well. But she is not our enemy. She is our ally. Today we stand because she fought with us." The villagers murmured among themselves. Some still looked uneasy, but others nodded in agreement. They had seen her bravery with their own eyes. The elder spoke again, slower this time. "If she stands with us, then we stand with her." Relief washed over Ravi. For the first time, Luna was not just his secret. She was accepted, at least by some, as part of their world. But deep inside, Ravi knew the fight was far from over. The rift in the sky still glowed, and more machines would come. This victory was only the beginning of a larger war. As the villagers began to rebuild, Ravi and Luna stood together at the edge of the village. Smoke curled into the evening sky, carrying the scent of fire and metal. Luna looked up at him and whispered, "Protector, family grow." Ravi placed a hand gently on her head. "Yes. Now we are not alone." Together, they looked toward the dark horizon, knowing the greatest battles were yet to come. The night after the battle was heavy with smoke and silence. The villagers gathered around the fires, mending their wounds and sharing food. Broken machines lay scattered across the fields like dead beasts, their red eyes forever dim. For the first time, the people felt hope, yet fear still lingered. Ravi sat at the edge of the firelight with Luna beside him. She leaned against his arm, her ears lowered, her tail flicking slowly. Though her body was small, she carried a weight far larger than her frame. She knew the machines would return. Ravi stared into the flames. He could hear the villagers whispering his name, speaking of his strength, of the strange bond they had seen. Some called him a savior. Others spoke with unease, wondering if the girl at his side was safe to trust. The elder approached, his step slow and his face lined with deep thought. He looked at Ravi, then at Luna. "You saved us," the elder said. "Without you, we would be gone. But the sky is still torn, and more of these creatures may come. We cannot stand alone." Ravi nodded. "I know. This was only the beginning. The machines will not stop. They want her. And they will destroy anyone who stands in their way." The elder folded his hands behind his back. "Then you must choose, Ravi. Do you stay here and defend us, or do you go beyond the forest and seek a way to close the sky? Both paths are dangerous. But one man cannot walk them both." The choice pressed down on Ravi like a stone. Stay, and his people might survive for a while longer, but the machines would never stop coming. Leave, and he might find a way to end the threat, but the village would be vulnerable without him. Luna placed her small hand on his. "Protector does not walk alone. Wherever Ravi goes, Luna goes." Her words gave him strength, but they also deepened the weight of his decision. That night, Ravi could not sleep. He walked through the quiet village, past huts damaged by fire, past families huddled together for warmth. Every face reminded him of what was at stake. Luna patted softly at his side, her golden eyes watching him with patience. At the edge of the fields, they stopped. Above, the rift in the sky glowed faintly, its light spilling like a wound across the stars. It pulsed slowly, as if alive, a reminder that their fight was not yet finished. Ravi spoke quietly. "If we stay, the machines will come again. If we leave, the people may fall. What do we do, Luna?" She tilted her head, her ears flicking. "Protector has heart of people. But Protector also has bond of world. Luna feels the rift. It can be closed. But only with courage." Ravi looked at her. "Can we truly close it?" She nodded. "Luna knows the way. But path is not easy. Machines will guard it. And danger waits beyond." Silence stretched between them. Ravi closed his eyes, remembering the villagers' cheers when the great machine fell, remembering the elder's words, remembering the bond that tied his life to Luna's. He realized then that the choice was not only his to make. The next morning, he gathered the villagers. They stood in a circle around the broken remains of the machines, their faces tired but determined. Ravi stepped forward with Luna at his side. "The machines will return," Ravi said, his voice steady. "If we stay here, they will destroy us all. But there is a chance, a small one, to end this. Luna knows of a way to close the rift in the sky. If we succeed, no more machines will come. But to do this, we must leave. We must fight our way to the rift. The villagers murmured. Some looked afraid, others doubtful. One man spoke. And if you fail? Ravi did not look away. Then at least we will have tried. I cannot promise safety. I can only promise that standing still will bring only destruction. The elder raised his hand for silence. He looked long at Ravi, then at the villagers. Finally, he nodded. He is right. We cannot hide forever. If this bond between man and alien can save us, then we must trust it. Ravi, Luna, you must go. We will hold the village as long as we can. Ravi's chest tightened. He wanted to stay, to protect them all, but he also knew the truth. The real fight was beyond. That afternoon, Ravi prepared. He took food, water, and the strongest tools they could forge into weapons. Luna carried nothing but her claws and her courage. The villagers gathered to see them off, their eyes filled with both fear and hope. As Ravi stepped beyond the fields, a child ran up to him and tugged at his arm. Come back, the child whispered. Ravi bent down and placed a hand on the child's shoulder. I will try, he said simply. With Luna at his side, he entered the forest once more, walking toward the glow in the sky. Days passed as they traveled. The machines grew more common, hunting them from the shadows, but Ravi and Luna fought together, their bond sharpening with every battle. Ravi felt himself changing, his reflexes faster, his strength greater, his senses sharper. He was no longer only a man. He was something more, shaped by the bond. At last, they reached the heart of the forest where the ground split open, revealing a crater that burned with strange light. At its center rose a tower of metal, pulsing with energy, and above it, the rift stretched wide across the sky. Luna's fur bristled. There. That is the gate. If we destroy its heart, the rift will close. But guarding the tower was an army of machines larger than any they had faced. Red eyes filled the darkness, blinking in unison like stars of fire. Ravi gripped his weapon. His heart pounded, but he did not step back. He looked at Luna, and she looked back at him. Protector, she whispered, this is our choice. Together or never. Ravi nodded. Together. They charged. The machines surged forward, a wall of metal and fire. Ravi swung with all his strength, breaking through their ranks. Luna darted beside him, her claws glowing brighter than ever. The bond pulsed between them like a living flame, guiding every step, every strike. Through smoke, through sparks, through pain, they pushed toward the tower. The battle roared around them, but neither faltered. The bond held. At the base of the tower, Ravi raised his weapon high. Luna leapt beside him, her voice clear and fierce. Now, Protector. Together, they struck the heart of the machine tower. Light exploded across the sky. The rift shuddered, then began to close, folding in on itself until the wound in the heavens was gone. The machines around them froze, their red eyes flickering out. Silence fell. Ravi fell to his knees, gasping for breath. Luna leaned against him, her small frame trembling but strong. They looked up together at the sky, now whole again, filled only with stars. The war was over. Ravi wrapped an arm around Luna, holding her close. We did it, he whispered. She smiled, her golden eyes soft. Protector kept bond. Now world is safe. And for the first time since the day he found her, Ravi felt not only like a survivor but like a man who had chosen his own destiny.